Hi.
Hi. Welcome
Hi.
to our Saturday chat.
Saturday chat.
Chat.
Is this drinkable?
Um,
It's hot to hold.
it's pretty warm.
So, tomorrow, we're going
Sunday.
to be tackling a song.
Indeed.
And it's going to be
Carnival.
by Natalie Merchant.
Indeed. Yep.
You know, Natalie Merchant and 10,000 Maniacs. I've always held them in high esteem, even when I was young. I thought that they were really great musicians.
Mm.
You know, and listening to them later on, I still have the same opinion. I think that they are true artists. They have a unique. She has a unique sound. She has a unique style. Pretty much everything that you'd want to me
From an artist.
You know, whether you like it or not. It's like I can see maybe people don't like her, but she's true to what she does. And, you know, one of the singer-songwriters as well. Like, she writes and performs mostly her own music.
I like that.
I think you get a true representation of what the songwriter thought when they're the ones that perform it.
Right. I agree.
Now, sometimes other people interpret it in ways that are very expressive and maybe even different and impact people differently or greater than the original songwriter. And as far as reach of impact, songs like, Black Magic Woman and All Along the Watchtower come to mind as far as reaching further than the original artist.
Oh, speaking of, let me diverge just a moment and show and tell a little bit. Because our friend Frog from Bull's Gap gave us this. Yeah, Black Magic Woman. That's what made me think of it. So thanks, Frog. Yeah, we're gonna put it up in the studio with our lovely gifts go around. But Carnival. So I thought the imagery that she evoked really was true to her. The meaning of the song. It was about the first time that she visited New York City when she was 16.
Yeah, that's my understanding too.
And like, I'm really thinking on the lyrics as I was learning it. For me, that's the exact imagery that came up, was a New York City, like a really bustling city
it's interesting
environment.
The song is on her first solo record, which came out after the 10,000 Maniacs. And I wonder if it's a song that she had partially finished or written in part before 10,000 Maniacs, or maybe even for the 10,000 Maniacs, and just never brought it out. I know that it was like the lead single from the album as well, and I remember hearing it on the radio.
It was her highest charting solo song.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. I think it said it was like at 24 in the Billboard, and then it got higher. Yeah, I think so. Maybe I read wrong. There were a bunch of numbers involved because she got up in the Australian and the Canadian charts as well.
Either way, she's a great artist.
It might have been 10 in Billboard.
I feel
it might have been
fortunate 10. That we got to see.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I often forget that we saw her because it was so long ago. But I just think she's a really great artist. And it's like she represents a lot of what I would aspire to be. Mm-hmm. You know, it's interesting that a lot of people say, I read a lot of comments on the song, and I watched a couple live performances of her. And people equate her a lot with like a hippie scene or hippie movement.
Really?
Which I didn't necessarily draw that conclusion immediately, but now I can see it kind of looking back. They're like, a lot of it is just the way that she presents herself on stage and dances and such. And, the more I think of it, I think that they actually, 10,000 Maniacs especially, maybe more so than her solo career, have a lot of parallels to what we do. In their original stuff. I'd love to hear what people's favorite Natalie Merchant material is, because I feel like I don't know enough. I have her solo records, and I have her acoustic 10,000 Maniacs album. But other than that, I'm kind of limited as to what I've heard.
Yeah, what's your favorite Natalie Merchant or Natalie Merchant with 10. Is it Natalie Merchant with 10,000 Maniacs, or is it just 10,000 Maniacs? That's what I thought. Or your 10,000 Maniacs.
Yeah, probably where you're getting confused is Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians.
Right. Which I would equate to more of the hippie scene just because of Bohemian. I did learn something lately. So, about cultures, Bohemian is not an aesthetic, though it's been adopted as an aesthetic. Mm-hmm. It's actually a culture of people. Mm-hmm. And like what we would think of as boho is not at all. It's more of a folk art kind of feel to their art and to their cultural designs and whatnot. So like, I'd love to coin a different phrase for whatever this aesthetic we're using is, because there's a culture of people that are just sort of, we're like, no, we're claiming this is the boho thing. Bohemian, yeah. But it's different. It's completely different than what I anticipated it being.
I think a lot of cultural things are like that. Like, true hippies are a lot different than what's been culturally appropriated as hippie movement.
I don't know that it would be appropriation if you just join it. You're just joining it.
I'm not saying just join it. I'm saying like people
how it's been portrayed,
certain clothing and lifestyles. They just say, oh,
right. Yeah. Well, I think
for instance, a good one is long hair. Like a lot of people, like if you're just dressed
long-haired hippie people.
Long-haired hippie people, you're a hippie. But like a lot of people keep long hair that aren't.
Well, I think several people too. I've like equate the hippie movement with like a disco movement because it was an overlap in time period, but that's a completely separate scene.
Different. It was a completely different scene and completely different attitudes.
Come on then. Come on. And the cat enters the frame. This is Toodles. Come on, Toodles. If you'll behave. All right. He's not normally a good lap cat. He doesn't know how to cat really well, and he doesn't understand how to claws. So he will put his claws out in an attempt to make biscuits, and he just won't retract them. So, yeah we get
stuck by the fingers.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy, though.
Yeah, anyhow, I had a lot of fun with this shout-out that everybody's going to hear tomorrow.
It was a challenge for me. I'll say that right now. I have outlined in the past that there are certain artists or certain songs that I find a challenge. Sir. Okay, all right. I challenge vocally the cadence of Natalie Merchant's phrasing. I found a challenge. The relationship between the vocal melody and the rest of the song center, I found a challenge. It's just not.
And the timing.
The timing
is awkward at points.
Oh my goodness! When we first gave a listen, I'm like, yeah, we could do this, no problem. And then when we got into the meat of actually doing it, I was like, this song is dumb. I don't want to do it anymore.
I think one marker of a great artist is being able to take what it sounds like a simple song, and
it's actually quite difficult.
Expand on it, or to make a difficult song sound easy.
Yes, and she did. For watching her do it, I'm like, sure, this is fine. And then when we got, you can sing along with a thing, and any of our musicians in the audience, I'm sure you can attest to the truth of this. Like, you can play along with or sing along with the original artist, and it's like, yeah, I got this. But then when you're out on your own, you sort of strip everything away.
You don't have the guidelines.
There's no
You're flying solo. So, but I think, we've prepared ourselves for this moment because we're constantly.
Yeah. We're always learning.
We're constantly trying random stuff.
Literally every week.
Anyways, tune in tomorrow.
Because we're time traveling. Yeah.
Yep. Let us know what you think. And let us know what we should do next. Leave some ideas in the comments.
Yeah. Below. Also, if you haven't already, please go to SugarLimeBlue.com and sign up for our newsletter. We're trying to be a little bit more consistent with putting out a newsletter, and now that
a lot of exciting things coming in.
And we want you guys to be a part of that. So Absolutely. If you would please go sign up, and we will let you know what's going on, maybe sporadically through the end of the year, and then we'll be a little more consistent. Yeah. So
come hang with us in more places.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.